In about 30 minutes, I'm off to a hotel in Farnborough, ready to undertake the North Downs Way 100 tomorrow. It's the first time I've ever attempted a 100-mile race. It's the first time I've ever been on the North Downs Way. My goals are, my A goal is to go sub 15. B goal is to set a new course record, which I think is 15:20 something. And then the C goal is just to win. So we'll see how we get on, and I'll report back later. Right, so I'm now in my hotel. I'm staying at the Holiday Inn in Farnborough. I collect Holiday Inn points, so I'm silly not to use them. Just a few more thoughts. As I said earlier, this is my first 100-miler. I won't pretend it isn't a bit daunting, but on the other hand, everyone says break it down into bite-sized chunks. And I was thinking about that. And actually, as I understand it, there's 13 aid stations on this route. So if you think about it, it's about 8-mile jog, meal, 8-mile jog, meal. So you rinse and repeat a dozen times, and you're in Ashford in Kent. Job's a good one. Obviously, there's the 30-hour time limit to consider, but there's going sub 15. Shouldn't be a problem. However, you can't take these things for granted. You have to prepare. So you need to eat well. I've carb loaded at lunchtime when I was at home. Had a load of pasta, but I've just gone to the Waitrose around the corner for my tea. I'm just going to eat as much as I possibly can, because you just got to fuel up massively. You can not eat enough when you're doing these ultra marathons. So I've gone and got myself not one but two rounds of chicken and stuffing sandwiches, honey roast ham crisps, got some pork sausages as well, some orange juice, chocolate milkshake, some red wine. You do need to sleep, and I'm obviously going to try and go to sleep a lot earlier than I normally would, because I've got to set, my taxi's coming at 5, so I'll be setting my alarm for about, I don't know, 4:15, 4:30, something like that. So bottle of wine. Now, obviously, I wouldn't recommend drinking an entire bottle of wine the night before race, which is why, if you do go down this route, get one with a screw top. Obviously, yeah, it'd be very nice to have a bottle of Chateau Neuf de Pape, but that always comes with a cork. So you want to be able to screw the lid back on after you've drunk, maybe just, no more than half a bottle, I'd say, so that it doesn't affect you in the morning, but it helps you get off to sleep. So that's the plan. I'm going to now have something to eat, and then I may make another quick video before I go to bed. Right, so a quick check-in before I turn off the lights and try and get some shut-eye. Just to say that I've eaten most of the food I bought. I haven't quite managed to get it all in, but I've eaten a good amount. Time to try and get some sleep now. Feeling a bit more relaxed thanks to the Malbec. And so good night. Good morning. Okay, it's 4:52 a.m. now. I've got dressed, been up since about 4:30, and the taxi will be here in a few minutes, so I need to get going. But I think one of the hardest parts of an event like this is actually getting up in the middle of the night. Don't enjoy it at all, but that's done. Let's go.
A few minutes later.
I'll start. If you keep coming a bit further in, I'll have to shout a bit less. That'd be great, thanks. Morning everyone, welcome to the 12th edition of this race. Good three special people to shout out this morning.
Race briefing complete. Now we're off to the start. Just following these guys. Apparently it's about a 5-minute walk. I actually missed recording the start of the race due to faffing around with my watch. However, within a couple of minutes we were queuing, putting my A, B and C goals in serious jeopardy. Early doors, nice rest. At about 3 miles, I had a pleasant surprise. My friend from Avon Valley Runners turned up at A, and we had a little run and chat together. Turned out he'd forgotten his poles. Just running with my buddy Hade here.
Yay.
Hey Hade.
Yay.
Yeah. Hade's sister.
Still smiling because it's still at the start.
Yeah.
I think we're just about 3 miles in.
Yeah, just coming up for 3 miles, so we've still got over 100 miles to go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great news, isn't it? Yeah. My original goal was sub 15 today. You know, course record blown out the water, but with all those queues back there, I have to lay that to one side. So, yeah. What are you aiming for today, mate? Have you got a plan?
Because I left my poles, I was hoping for sub 24, but
yeah,
to be honest now, I'm just
get it done.
Just get it done.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll see how I feel.
Yeah.
Without the poles.
Listen, how many 100 miles have you done?
2.
So this will be your 3rd?
Yeah.
But you haven't DNF'd either on them, have you? You complete them both.
Oh,
You are
don't jinx it.
determined man. Good boy. All right. Okay, so it's 7:35 in the morning now. Just gone past 8 miles. Now climbing up a hill, and the ground is sand. So any attempt to run is just a waste of energy, in my opinion. So I'm gonna hike this, and I think I'm gonna see St Martha's Church on the right hand side in a few minutes, if I'm where I think I am. I've had the YouTube video of the North Downs Way I've seen. It seems to feature that. It does look quite pretty, so hopefully I'll see it for myself in a minute. Righty, checking out.
This is my dream to do good video. Excellent.
That was a little bit further than I thought to St Martha's, but here it is. Very nice. Time bumbled along, as did I. The weather began to warm up, but not excessively so, and the path itself was extremely runnable, so good progress was made for the first 24 or so miles. Just come out of aid station 3, eating a sausage roll, got some wine gums to wash it down afterwards. So far so good, lovely day. It's starting to warm up now, but it's not excessive. What does frighten me is that I think we're about to go up Box Hill. So that's going to ruin the average speed, but hey ho. Hopefully there'll be something nice in the next aid station to reward us. Some foie gras and a crisp Sauvignon Blanc would do nicely. Day like today. We'll have to see. Au revoir. Despite being punishingly steep, Box Hill wasn't perhaps as bad as I had feared. So many stories had I heard about Box Hill that psychologically I was really prepared for something quite horrendous. Box Hill, whilst very steep, wasn't as long as perhaps I'd feared. What started to cause me problems, however, was it was then followed up with Collie Hill, which you can see here with the English memorial on top, then Reigate Hill, then Ockley Hill, and the real brute that was Botley Hill. Okay, just over 48 miles in, about maybe a smidge under 2 miles to the halfway checkpoint, where there is a hot meal waiting for us apparently. Now, it's not often that I'm not hungry, but this is one of those occasions. Sadly, this is one of the conditions that afflicts ultra runners, that you really do lose your appetite when you're running for a long time. So, top tip, I'm deliberately now easing down the pace so that the last couple of miles into the aid station, my heart rate's almost at, rest pace, and the blood's able to stop pumping to my muscles and go back to my stomach. Ad propos, I should get my appetite back just in time for the hot meal that awaits at Knockout Pound. Cunning, huh? Well, let's see if it works, but if I don't stuff my face, there's no way I'm finishing this race. So, needs must. Anyway, lovely view over there. It's not as warm as it was, which is good. It's cooled down a bit. What time is it? It's 20 past 6 in the evening. That'll be why it's a bit cooler. Okay, right. I shall probably make another video at Knockout Pound. Bye. Just had a thought. I wonder if you're allowed to get a Just Eat delivery to a checkpoint. That way you can have whatever you feel like eating. I'm not going to do it because I'm not 100% sure what the rules are on that, and the last thing I want to do is get disqualified. I know Centurion are quite strict, and rightly so, about these things, so I don't want to stray across the line, but I'll certainly have a look at the regulations for the future, because that's actually quite a good idea. Proper 2022 solution to a problem. Righty, laters. Just in case anything happens, just want to record on my phone that those have got horns and they seem to be walking alongside me, which they didn't. Anyway, just for the record. Okay, so I'm just leaving Knockout Pound now. I've been there for a good 45 minutes actually in the end. Did manage to eat a bowl of pasta, which was good, and a few other bits and bobs, so yeah, so hopefully that will pay dividends in a bit. I've changed pretty much everything I'm wearing except for my shorts. Just hope to feel like I've got a new pair of legs. That's the only thing I haven't been able to change. I would wish I could. Anyway, next stop is 10 miles from here, so let's see if we can at least get there. I am now starting to question the reality of me finishing this, but I know I haven't given everything I've got yet, so let's keep going and see how we get on. See you later. I made it back to Ashford by bus. I've had a good 2-3 hours sleep and a couple of hot dogs. Feeling a bit better. Yeah. Allow me to explain what happened. I got to Rootham at 61 miles and I was very tired. But what really knocked the stuffing out of me was the fact that I was slipping and slipping against the cut-off time. I'd been an hour and a half ahead of cut-off, or even more at one point. Then by Knockout Pound, it was under an hour. And at Rootham, it was only 40 minutes. I just wasn't able to move fast enough anymore to stay ahead of cut-off all the way to Ashford. And I did need to stop at every aid station for a significant amount of time. Perhaps if I'd been able to just, stop for 2 minutes, refill my water bottles and walk out with a handful of food, then I might have made it, but I just was not in a place to be able to do that. I needed to sit down for 15-20 minutes at every aid station, and it just wasn't going to get me where I needed to be in time. So rather than plow on for another 1 or 2 aid stations, I decided to call it quits at Rootham, mainly because it was an indoor aid station. So it meant that I could sit indoors whilst waiting for the sweeper bus to pick me up. So yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, I'll now play the footage of me at Rootham quitting. Okay, update. I'm at Rootham, and aid station in Rootham, 61 miles and a bit done. I'm actually going to pull the pin here. I've already handed in my number. I just don't seem to be able to move quick enough to maintain a pace that stays ahead of the cutoff. I'm sure I could get to the next aid station ahead and probably the next 2 aid stations, but I can't get all the way to the end. So I'm not inclined to try for another aid station or 2 when I know I won't finish. So yeah, I obviously need to do some thinking about what went wrong, what I could do differently. Yeah, I need to think about that. Right now, it's hard to think of anything. So, yeah, I might make another vlog in a bit if I have any Inspired ideas, but right now my brain is mush, so I shall sign out for now. That sort of people like this, been going over 25 hours, getting it done, better than I am. Remember my friend and fellow Avon Valley Running Club runner, Ade, from about 100 miles ago? Well, here he is, with poles. What time do you call this, Ade? No, I'm only joking, mate. I DNF'd at 61 miles.
Way!
I was going to tell you I set a new course record, but I didn't think you'd believe me. Mate, you've done so well.
Man.
Fantastic.
Thank you. That was a tough race, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Where'd you get them poles from?
They brought them to the aid station.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
See you at the finish line, mate.
Yeah,
Woo! Here he is. The man, the myth, the legend. The Usain Bolt of the ultra marathon. Fantastic, mate. Get in.
that was tough.
Yeah, you did it though, you did it.
Hi, Steve.
Well done.
You're going to jump in and take your track
Yeah.
off. So there you go.
Thank you very much.
Well earned.
Yeah, another of these.
Yeah.
I was hoping for the other one, but not in this race.
Well, next time.
Maybe.
Next year.
A lot more training. This is a tough race.
So to get a quick photo.
Cheers.
Can I get you to just hold your buckle out?
No.
That's right.
My eyes.
Fantastic, well done.
Thank you very
Well
much.
done, there's your t-shirt.
Thank
well
you very
done.
much.
Fantastic.
Thank
Congratulations,
you.
buddy.
Thank you. That's
Well
a really
done.
tough race.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened with your drop bag.
It's fine, it's fine.
You made it, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The only problem is my Garmin died and my charger was in the dropper.
Your GPX track from your tracking will be online.
Download that.
Later in the week. All right?
You got a bag over there?
Yes.
Hey.
Let me just film John for me.
Say hi to the Avon Valley runners.
Avon Valley runners, all together.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Do you drink too? Yes, please.
Well done, guys. On the train home, just enjoyed a wasabi. Rather embarrassing moment. A lady's just come up to me and told me I've got my shirt on inside out. And she's quite right, as you can see. Whoops. So that's my North Downs Way 100 adventure. It was an amazing experience. I'm really glad I entered. Sad I didn't finish it, but hey, it was my first attempt and it was quite a tough course, as I found out halfway round. Yeah, so it was a great deal of fun, and I would just want to give a big kudos out to the Centurion running team. The organization's amazing. They really know what they're doing when they put this event on. The aid station particularly stood out to me. The service that the guys that were manning the aid station, the volunteers, etc., they were just fantastic, and they really looked after you. The aid stations were more like pit stops with people running around after you, fetching this, fetching that, refilling your bottles. And when you're shattered, that kind of thing means so much. So yeah, I was really grateful. I still am. Huge shout out to the entire crew. Definitely although my first Centurion event will not be my last. So yeah, I think the next thing I will attempt to do is possibly have a go at the South Downs Way next year. I understand it's slightly easier in terms of it's a little bit more runnable. I think the hills aren't quite as steep, even though the overall elevation is somewhat similar. So I'm hoping that might give me a better chance. Obviously, that gives me another I don't know, 9-10 months to train as well. So that might make a difference. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. And if you're thinking about having a crack at North Downs Way 100 and you can't make up your mind, my advice is go for it.